wanted to lose weight because I thought I was not good enough. I didn't look good enough, the main thing. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. So I thought by losing weight, I'm going to like myself. People will like me more. I would become popular and yeah. So it just
I always feel someone is controlling me. Maybe it's my parents, maybe it's my loved ones, maybe my siblings. Well, I'm doing what they're I don't know and what you really want. I need only money. I will ask. This is Zaylan Clover. I'm your host, the Untold CEO. Today conversation is about something well experienced, but we rarely understand. The pressure of growing up, the struggles about self-worth, and the search for inner peace. My special guest today is an award winning coach, mindful teacher, and speaker who helps children, parents, and high achievers navigate stress and the overwhelming of challenges of life. But her work didn't come from the theories, textbooks, and not. Not only that, it comes from her real born journey. Please please welcome to the Untold CEO, Catherine. You're warmly welcome.
Hi, good morning, Ceylon. Thank you for welcoming me so nicely. It's an honor to be here, and I'm humbled by your welcome. Really, thank you for having me.
It's an honor to me. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And I know you're really busy, but it's honor to me accepting me. Okay. You know what, Catherine? In these days, I'm struggling with something very personal, and I thought about just start from that question from you, because you are our best and very suitable person to ask this question. What is life? What is
Wow,
life?
what is life? It's a very big question. Yeah, life is a journey for sure. And on this journey, we have a lot of lessons if we are open to them, of course. So life is basically a teacher. You can say that. Life is a teacher. Life is a journey. Life is also how you make it. Life is about also the choices we make every day, every moment. And life is about really, and this is something that I'm still learning, even though I teach part of this aspect. Life is about being present to it with whatever it presents. And we all have different perspectives and definitions of life, but wow, life is so vast, But life, when I think of the things that humans need to learn or is we are born present, yeah, but we lose that presence during the journey, and it teaches us back to come back to presence. So life is about being present. That's when you take most out of life when you are present.
Life is being a person, and we are learning. We are still learning. That's the great start. What a wonderful lesson. Thank you so much, Catherine. Yes, of course. I also are learning so much things in this life. It's it's really difficult sometimes. It's really joyful moments. It's
Yeah.
with me. So yes.
Yeah, it is normal. I think it is normal. If for you, I think one of the misconceptions is that life life is good, and I believe life loves us, life loves you. But one of the misconceptions that we have is that life has to be always good, always pretty, always happy, but life is there to teach us, and sometimes it gives us the difficulties, the struggles, the challenges, so we can really become more of who we are, become more present. to who we are. So yeah, life is definitely there to teach us something.
Yes, life is definitely teach us something, of
Yeah.
course. So, Catherine, where are your life start? I mean, where are your born place? I have noticed you have some connection with Latvia, London, and Cyprus. So I'm curious to know where are you born? Where are your life
Well,
start?
well, I am proud. I'm very proud to say that I am coming from the tiny island, Mediterranean island of Malta, or Malta as many call it. Yeah, yeah, that is where my roots are. So I am Maltese, very proud to be Maltese. Though we're tiny, we're very I'm proud to be from where we are. I think Maltese are very resilient and they've achieved a lot for a tiny island. So I'm very proud of my island. But now I live in Cyprus. I've been living in Cyprus for 6 years with my family, 6.5 years with my family. My connection with Latvia is I have friends from Latvia in Cyprus and from many other countries. And I lived in London for a
Hmm.
year. And that's my connection with London. And it was part of my life-changing experience, I guess. I was going through a transformation when I lived in London. Well, we're always going through a transformation. I don't think transformation ever changes, ever stops. Because if it stops, it's part of us dies. But but there was a big chunk of transformation. That's what I mean.
Yeah, in my list, that also I have added as a very very big question about the
Yeah.
transformation. Yeah, so let's talk about that as well. So, okay, so you grew up in Malta. So,
Yes.
what kind of environment you grew up? I know Malta is very beautiful, but I'm asking about your family environment. What kind of environment you grew up?
So I am not that young. So I'm born in very different Malta than it is today. Malta is very now developed economically. I think from a mindset approach, it has just grown so much. And it's very open-minded as a country. I mean, it's a huge shift. So when I was growing up, Malta was very different in what sense? It was very like a close-knitted society, community, and which is nice because the values of the family and all that is there, but also very, in a way, traditional, right? Where traditional like religion structures were very much like part of your life, and I was brought up in a family where it was like very much by the rules, like follow the religion. That's what was by my side. Like you follow the religion, do everything good, everything like be a good person, which is okay to be a good person, but not to the point that it takes away from who you are. And yeah, and then my father was very strict, like yeah, very strict. Never really. Um, like acknowledging me. Not that he loved me very much, of course, but um, there was no compliments of me doing well and you look good and this and that. So that was the family environment I was brought up in a nutshell. Does this make sense?
It really makes sense about we have discussed earlier, Catherine. So we had some discussion before start this recording. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so yeah. So did you feel some kind of stress or overwhelming when you're growing up, or what kind of experience you? What kind of emotions you had when you were a child?
Okay, I was a very good girl. That was one thing. I was a very good girl. I was like the like an example how like doing things the right way, like very obedient. I never caused any trouble, nothing. I was like in a way a dream child to have, but there was a part of me that was suppressed because of that. um So I was in my own shell, not really expressing myself, except on stage, because at a very young age, around 4 years or 5 years, I was involved already in the school drama group. And every year I used to take part in the school drama competition. And at 5 years, our school had won, so I was in kindergarten, and we had won like this schools competition for the primary schools. And I was really, really happy to do that. That part of me was really being expressed, being on stage. However, then I changed school. I went to the big school, right? We have the junior, senior, primary, secondary. So I moved on to the secondary school. And that was very overwhelming for me. I mean, looking back, it was really overwhelming. As a quiet girl, shy, you end up in a huge school with girls from everywhere, from all over the country. Okay, it's small, but still, I was brought up very much in a protected society. It was really overwhelming, and I was like, "Where am I? What am I supposed to do? Who I am?" So I became even more focused on my academic qualification, which I did really well. But I think I was a bit numb, close to myself. And then I dropped the drama as I grew older because then I had to study for, the serious examinations. So another part of myself I let go. And my father was very strict, so other like teenagers were doing fun stuff and I couldn't. So my life was not the way I wanted to be as a growing up teenager, let's say.
Well, your life is not as you expected. That's what you don't want, right? So I have two questions, Catherine. So the first one is every time being a good girl is not something that you regret right now, because you know what? Um, every people have black and white. The Untold CEO logo is black and white. So the reason I know is I'm wearing white and my hair is black. I combine all the things. You know, the every people have black side, also the white side.
Yes, oh, for sure. Yeah, the light and the darkness. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, so we are like ash color. We are in ash color. So every time being a good girl, it's not something that you regret right now. It's that really hard. I think. Do you feel it's really hard to be a good girl every time?
It is hard. It is hard. I mean, it wasn't hard at the time. I don't think it was the natural thing to do for me, to be the good girl and not cause any trouble. And I was the example, really. But looking back, and I don't regret it. It's my life journey. But being always a good girl is not always good. Because if being a good girl, you're not allowing yourself to express yourself, then that is a problem because you are suppressing a part of yourself. And that was, I think, my issue. I would say, and I still see it coming up sometimes because it's such a big program that you don't say something not to cause trouble. And if you cause trouble, then you feel so bad. So I really have to um, be okay with it now. And I understood that. So it's been my life lesson. But the program is there because that started when I was very young. So it's like it's all the time. Life is giving me opportunities to reverse that program. Because being the good girl had caused me issues. And whilst it looked really good on the outside, like, wow, she's really well behaved, she's good, but that on the inside had an impact.
Hmm. Yes, of course. Also, I'm a good girl. I was a good girl, and I think right now also I'm a good girl.
Yeah,
At my school, I also didn't get any trouble except once here. The two
yeah,
stories I have.
yeah,
So I was a good girl, and every elders, every teachers, and started saying she's very good and she's doing very well. She's very disciplined. She's very talented, and everything, right? So
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So once I growing up, so I feel like why every time I'm being good. And why I can't hurt others, why I can't do something they feel disgusting, why. And that feels also I tense because I think I feel like very stressful when everyone appreciate, when everyone giving some compliments. And the second thing is it, now I'm thinking, now I'm late 20s, so I'm thinking it gives me to strength to lead my life, and also it gives me how to say discipline. It make me as a well disciplined girl now.
Yes,
Yes,
totally. Yeah, yeah,
good
yeah,
girl. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, it has a very big good value. I mean, it's like a good value because one of the most important things is, I believe, is to be kind towards others. Even, and if you are a good girl, you are kind to others. There's no, I mean, and that's a very good thing. And even if I have to say something to someone, unless I'm really fed up, I would try and say it in a way that does not hurt that person. So even if I have to express it, I try to do it in a way that is um, that does not really have a bad influence on that person, unless I can't take it anymore and it just comes out of my mouth. That can happen too in extreme cases. But if I have to tell you something because you annoyed me, for example, for something, I will really think how I'm going to tell you. So I want to express myself, but at the same time, I don't want to impact you negatively. So I want to do it in a way that is positive also. So I think that's a good thing because if we try to see each other, I try to see the other person, and I think that is a good thing. And I'm sure you're probably the same, right?
Yes, of course, it is the same feeling I have right now, but it was not when I was teenage. I feel kind of, I mean, for limitation, I like this. I'm tired
Yeah,
with the some bonus, some expectations. Now I feel
yeah,
like it's really good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We go through phases. I mean, then I went through the rebellion phase, with my father, and that was not the best way I could have done it for my father, I guess, right? But sometimes it's necessary to do that because this a part of you is so suppressed that you have to just really let it all out. Um, so yeah, we go through phases, I think, but it's also about self-awareness, knowing yourself.
Yes, self-awareness. So the second question was, so when you feel overwhelming at your school, maybe with your father, and you mostly tend to do your best in academic side and extracurricular activities. Am I correct?
Yes, this is going back to when I was young, right?
Yes, yes. Going back to
Yeah,
when yours.
yeah, 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 yeah. I used to be overwhelmed, but I think now, if I look back at my younger self, at that little girl or teenage girl, um, I didn't understand what overwhelm is.
Mhm.
So I just kept going and going and going until, yeah, until obviously then for many different reasons was the eating disorder manifested, until the eating disorder manifested. And that is when my body sort of said, that's it, just enough.
Yes. So you openly talk about your eating disorder, Catherine. So I have
Yeah.
read some articles and videos of yours. So it's so how hard it was and when did it start? How it happened?
Well, how it happened, I mean, I can't even say how it happened. It just, I would say that at around age of 16, I started developing this pattern of watching my eating. I was always slim. I'm slim now, yeah. Even though I'm older, I'm still slim and I seem not to put on weight. So I have that gene. But so I was slim naturally. I was always slim. But around the age of 16, I would say I started really watching my eating and wanting to lose weight.
Hmm.
And when I was already slim, like there was no reason. I was wearing size 8 probably, and like I am still now. So I was wearing size 8 or yeah, or maximum. Sometimes I used to go to size 10, but I still wanted to diet.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's where that something has started to come out, and then it became so bad that I really started losing weight fast. I was not eating. I hardly was eating. I was throwing my lunch, for example. Throw my lunch and throw the food away and counting the calories, like obsessively counting the calories, weighing myself every morning. And if I lose 100 grams, I'm happy. If not, my day would be very sad, very low.
Hmm. So
Um,
how, sorry, sorry.
And this was all secretly, right? Like these things like happiness, sadness, hiding food, counting calories, it was all secret, like no one knows. Just people started to notice something was not quite right with me because I was losing weight.
Yeah. So what influenced you to lose your weight? Why that kind of thought comes to your mind?
I wanted to lose weight because I thought I was not good enough. I didn't look good enough, the main thing. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. So I thought by losing weight, I'm going to like myself. People will like me more. I would become popular and yeah, yeah. So it just like there was something not quite, I felt like the whole, let's put it like very like I am not good enough. That's the big thing.
That's the
I
big
am not.
picture of
Yeah, I am not good enough. I was like nearly invisible. Like, okay, I made myself even more invisible by losing weight, really, because I became like skeleton and bones. So I really made myself even more visible. But I felt I was invisible. Deep down, I felt I was invisible. I was not seen, I was not heard, I was not valued, I was not appreciated. So I am not good enough. So I need to lose weight. That's how
that's why
yeah,
that's what influenced you to
yeah,
lose your weight. So
yes.
um you achieve it. Did you achieve it? To lose
Well, I
your
guess
weight?
I did in a bad way. I mean, nothing to laugh about, but no, I achieved it in the sense, yes, I achieved it because at 20 years old, I was weighing, yeah, 20 years old, I was weighing 30 kilos. So I lost a lot of weight when supposedly I should be weighing around 52 kilos at the age of 20 for my frame and height. So that was a success, right? 30, like from my perspective, but it's not it was, I actually put myself in danger because my life was in danger at that weight. So I ended up in hospital. That was my success, ending up in hospital basically.
Ending up with ending up in a hospital was the last thing you have achieved. So lose your weight in 30 kilos. You got appreciations. You got the people start to love you. Is that kind of expectation you achieved?
I mean, I was getting more attention because people were worrying about me. So people around me was like really like more attention. It was like there's something not right with her. We need to help her. So I really got a lot of attention. And I think that was in a way, it was a realization that people do love me, do care for me, right? But it's not in the right way. I've manifested that. It was a cry from my inner self to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued for who I am. And all these suppressions just came out in this way. I did not have the freedom because of my upbringing to be who I am. And I'm coming, I mean, and people can say, come on, you come from Malta, there is freedom. As a woman, you have the freedom because, yes, thankfully in Malta, women have, quite good rights. I mean, there are the rights as a woman, and we're not coming from some countries we hear these horror stories. But my upbringing, I came from an environment that I did not have the freedom to be who I am. I was not programmed in that way. So a part of me was suppressed, died inside of me. And that was a cry.
Who was with you at the difficult time?
Oh, I always say, I'm always grateful for the support of people around me because without them, I don't think I would have recovered. Because now I am fully recovered. I don't like I eat whatever I want. I'm a healthy eater. Okay, so I don't eat all the junk food, but if I feel an extra chocolate today, I will eat it. Yeah, so that's how it is. So yeah, I'm grateful for my work colleagues. I mean, I was really taken care by my work colleagues, my employers. I could take sick leave, I could take days off. They always supported me. They even came to me with doctor's visits to have someone with me, family, friends. It just like it really kept me going, and that was really an important part. I always believe that human support is so important from my experience, and I always say that if anyone is going through an experience like mine or any other situation where you're suffering, share it with a person. At least there is one person you trust. Share it with that person because that will make a huge difference. That person who will listen to you and doesn't judge you
Hmm.
is so important. And thankfully, I had those people around me.
So, is your what about your parents? What about your siblings?
Okay, this was a really difficult time because when I was in this really bad phase of the eating disorder, I was hospitalized and I was really weighing really like low. My mom was sick with a brain tumor, so she was in her last stages of her life. Um, yeah, yeah. So it was heartbreaking because I was seeing my mom decaying really, and uh, and I was helpless, so that was really hard. And she could not, she was with me. She was really present, and wanted to help me, but she did not have the capacity to help me in the way that she could help me because she was very sick. So also, there was that going on in the household. My mom needed a lot of attention and care. She couldn't be left on her own so much. So my father had to be there for her. My brother is younger than me. So he was really, obviously it had an impact on him as well, this whole situation. My mom being sick, I was sick psychologically. So it was a hard time, a really hard time. But I had support because I had support from family members, I had support from colleagues, as I said, and friends. So the support was there in some form or another.
So what helped you to healing? I mean, what helped you to how you start to heal?
Yeah, so okay, I ended up in hospital in a medical ward, not even psychological ward, because medically it was a dangerous situation. And they discharged me only with the condition that I will see a psychiatrist, which I did. And it was a flop because I was given so many medications that made me feel even worse, not really better. Yeah, but because I had the support and I started, okay, we started finding solutions, and I ended up going to a psychologist, and then I started talking and seeing things from a different perspective. Like when you go to a psychologist, you start, talking and you start seeing things from a different perspectives, and things started to shift and started to shift, feeling a little bit better. I started to socialize more outside my working life. I was still studying. I started bringing more social circles, and also then after my mom passed away. My mom passed away a few months after I was out of hospital. Um, I sort of rebelled a little bit. I became a rebellion. So I was not the good girl anymore. You know, if my father used to tell me, give me a time to come back at home, we had this really traditional, like, you have to be home by midnight or 11. I don't care. If I want to stay till 2 at night or just, I will not, I will stay out. So I started doing that. And that was a big shock, of course, because my father always knew someone who obeys, really. And I started, but that rebellion actually was healing because I started doing the things that I wanted to do for myself. And, even I didn't care, like, I will wear this, I don't care, and just like this, I don't care thing came like, I want to do it, so I will do it. And I don't care what is said and what I have to face. And that was quite powerful for me, that courage to stand for myself and do the things that I want to do, even though they were not allowed. Because I wasn't doing anything really wrong, but it's not what I was within allowed to do. So I started rebelling, and I think that was very healing.
Yes. I remember myself as well, Catherine, my dear Catherine. I remember myself. So, how I say, uh, I always feel someone is controlling me. Maybe it's my parents, maybe it's my loved ones, maybe my siblings. Well, I'm doing what they are saying, I'm giving what they're expecting. For example, I have to. I'm in Latvia right now. All the people, my family are in Sri Lanka. So being a good girl is really difficult. I can do anything here, anything. I can
Of
go
course.
and do anything, but I don't, and I didn't. Because if someone is holding me, someone is like making me you do like this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So exactly, I'm not doing any wrong things, but I felt yesterday it's really difficult to me actually. It was really difficult to me. I felt why someone is there tied me, hold me every time I can't do what I really want. I want to go some work. I want to go somewhere to heal myself. I want to go for a coffee. I want to go for gym. I want to do that, but I cannot. I cannot because someone is holding me. And finally I decide why I cannot negotiate. I can negotiate with them. I want things. Why you're holding me? Why you tied up? Okay, it's 8 p.m. I have to come to my apartment. If not, my parents and my loved ones are asking, "Where are you? Come home, come apartment," and things. Yesterday I told them, "No, I have to finish this. I have to calm myself. After that, only I come." Listen,
Yes.
okay, okay, come safely. That's it. And I was starting to think why I didn't do that earlier. Why I say
Exactly.
yes, yes,
Exactly. We hold ourselves to rules that are not suitable to us, and sometimes rules that don't even make sense, and we don't question them, and we don't question them. And one, I think, important thing in life is to question everything. Like, question everything. Why am I doing this? Why is this person telling? It's questioning, not just to believe everything that you are being told to do or to behave or to say, whatever. Just like, but is this really reflects me? Is this really helping me? So I think it's just having this questioning, reflection, being your own coach, really. It's like you be your own coach, because as a coach, we ask questions and set that person to think and reflect and about their life. But we can be our own coaches in that respect, to ask questions. It's like you have this rule of being home at 8 in your apartment, but you question that. But what is this rule about? How does it suit me? How is it benefiting me?
Yeah. It's make me in some cage, and I can't do anything. But finally, I decide no, I can't do that, and it gives me freedom. I feel so freedom.
I totally get that feeling of freedom. Yes, I totally get. And for me, because of this situation, freedom, the whole idea of freedom became really important. And as I grew older, I started to explore traveling and explore different spiritual traditions. And I found them so fascinating and they were so helpful. They helped me to grow as a person. So this concept, this value of freedom, I feel it's a really integral part of my life. I value freedom, and my heart goes really out to those people who do not have freedom. Um, especially women. I mean, and I'm not speaking about empowerment or anything. I'm speaking about freedom for women who can't even go to school. There are countries still like this. So it just, yeah, freedom is so important. We all have this basic right of freedom and freedom of speech, freedom, just to be able to express what we want to express in a respectful way. Okay, not being hateful or angry, but we all have the right to express our opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
that's
course,
fine.
of course.
Of course, yes, it's yeah, but we get caught in it. Like, it's like sometimes where is that freedom? And we have to create it for ourselves.
Of course, we have sometimes no one creates freedom for us. We have to create our freedom for ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, Catherine, I really don't know if this question make you angry, make you disappointed. I really don't know. But I still don't. I can't keep it in my heart. Do you hate your father or do you regret about your father, disappointed about him?
No, of course not. No, 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 no. I mean, my father passed away many years ago as well. Um, yeah, nearly 20 years ago, so it's a long time. And my relationship wasn't the best relationship I could have had with my dad. But I know that now I understand it even more. Like, that he always loved me and wanted the best for me, and that what was his way because he didn't know any other way. So I don't have any, of course, no any hatred. Only love as a father, and I think I feel that in a way, in another dimension, he's protecting me and he's there for me. So yeah, yeah, definitely. It's just it's no, it's there's no hate whatsoever. I think there's only love, and I understand that this was part of my journey that we, as there is the saying, we choose our parents.
Hmm.
Before we even come into this earth, our soul chooses our parents, and I believe I chose my parents for some reason because I needed to learn these lessons. Going back to the lessons of life.
Yes,
Um, yeah, but to be in this position, I think also you need to go through a transformation because obviously, when I was going through this, there was a lot of anger. Why can't I do this? Why can't I be free? And so sadness. So a lot of sadness. So it's a journey, and you need to explore and understand how things work from a higher perspective. Um, and that is where I think connection with something higher than us is important to understand the bigger meaning of life.
great to hear. Great to hear because some people are not understanding what their parents did for them in their childhood, and some people are still hurt, still disappointed, still regret about their childhood.
Yeah, and that I think there's no judgment towards that because I think when you are stuck in that traumatic um, experience, of course, it's very painful, and there's no other way to see it. And I mean, you can't, if for example, if you have an abusive parent, you can't deny that. That's totally wrong, and it damages the child. And there needs to be a healing journey and to make peace of it. And maybe you can't, and that's perfectly fine. This is your this is part of your life journey or karma, call it whatever you want. So, you know, each and every one of us have their own journey. And, it depends on what you are here for. If you had, I mean, I totally understand someone who is in a position where they feel this pain and anger and towards the parents or someone close to them who hurt them. So, because it takes time and effort and inner work to heal. And this is part of the healer. Forgiveness is part of the healing process. And we only forgive when we are ready to forgive. We can't force forgiveness. Although forgiveness is essential, I believe it's so important to be able to forgive. But it is a process and it is a choice. And you only do it when you're ready to forgive. You can't force forgiveness.
Of course, we can't force someone. We can't force for someone attention. We can't force for someone's love, and we can't force for give forgiveness to someone because it
Yeah.
comes from our heart, not by force. Agree.
Exactly, because we don't know the pain of anyone. We can never know, although we can feel and empathize, and some of us are better than others. We can never truly feel what that person is going through. That pain might be too hard to be able to express it, to work through it. It could be so painful, and that person is not ready. So it's fine. It's just we are all in different spaces in our life, and I was in a space where I felt these bad emotions, call them bad because yeah, these let's bad negative emotions, but I worked through it, and that was part of my journey. It doesn't mean it has to be anyone's part of that journey. Of course I encourage it because it's freeing as well.
Of course, some problems, some things gives take some time to solve.
Yes, 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 yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, Catherine, so I know 2013 is your transformation year. I know you got getting transformation in every steps in your life, but 2013 is more important year. What is about?
Yeah, I could say, we could say that. And I think I already mentioned, I did not mention the year, you mentioned the year now, but that year was in the year when I lived in London. It just like there was a big chunk of transformation, I said, and this was
Oh,
2013. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, I was very much already healed from my eating disorder, thankfully. I think I've already had, not I think, I've passed through that. And I was really delving. So I had a really good insurance career. I was a senior executive team leader, manager in an insurance. I moved to different insurance companies. So I had a good job, really good. I was, of course, really going deep into self-development, spirituality, training as a speaker and as a trainer, soft skills. So I was really delving into that and retraining myself. I had done neuro-linguistic programming. I had done um, uh, other modalities of healing and spirituality. And then a part of me was like, I'm just going to quit. I want to be in a position where I can share this with others. And because if I healed myself and I've really discovered a new way of being, a new way of life, then I want to be able to share it with others. And I decided to quit. I was having problems at my job, although it was a good job. I was having problems. There was some misalignments, I would say, and I was in a position where I could afford to leave the job. And from there, I decided, okay, I will go and live in London. I was doing my master NLP in London, so I was already traveling to London every month to do that. I said, oh, well, I always wanted to live in London when I was younger. I know I can do it. I will do that. It just was very spontaneous decision. So, and then in a few months, I was living in London. I rented my apartment in Malta. I've made all the arrangements, and I was living there. And then I continued, of course, my NLP studies, and then I started my coaching qualification in London. I've discovered chakra dance in London. I've done a lot of workshops that you will only find them in London, like, or of course, or in these like big cities, not in Malta. Yeah, so I've met really interesting spiritual teachers, coaches, like master teachers for me. So I did that. I did, and of course I was working with myself. I had the biggest revelations like about myself. I fell in love with life. I started to love myself on a different level. Yeah, and freedom, right? I had the freedom to do that.
The more freedom you had there to do what you really want, Catherine. So, didn't you have to shift from your stable career to what kind of not stable, like unstable path? Didn't you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, a lot of uncertainty, right? From having a stable job, which was well paid, to no salary, living in London, and just free and exploring whatever comes to me and through training. So that was quite daring to do um, for an average person. And I was brought up as an average person, so, as we discussed, very average. So yeah, but I don't regret it at all. I had the courage to follow my calling. And maybe I won't tell anyone, just quit your job. No, I will never tell that, not even as a coach, I will not. But you have to come to that decision, what is right for you. But also, you can only grow if you do some things daring. Okay, within your safety zone. I'm not telling anyone to plunge into the sea and they can't swim because they will drown. So you have to have some safety, some skills to be able to you have to have some backup somehow. But so within that safety zone, take risks.
That's amazing. Can you please explain a little bit? Take risks, but sometimes the risks are not giving comfortable comfort soon to us. Not sometimes, yes. So I'm saying I heard some quote, take some risk if that's only calculated. Isn't it?
Yes, yes, yeah. This is why within your safety zone, it's like you're not just going reckless. Okay. So let's say, as I said, okay, um, you've always wanted to swim, but you've never swam in your life. You don't know how to swim. You don't just go jump in the water and take the risk and swim because you know that you're probably going to drown.
Hmm.
So the calculation would be learn to swim, learn the basics, and then slowly, slowly go into the water. Okay, you're going to feel the discomfort because you've never done it, but you know there is safety. You are safe. You've calculated the risk.
Hmm. So having option B, having a backup, is a good thing. Do you believe?
Yes, yeah, it's always good to have a backup. But sometimes you're not lucky to have a backup. So you have then,
No.
I'm not going to tell you just go and do it anyway. You have for yourself to ask yourself, should I still do it without a backup? What will happen if everything goes wrong and I don't have a backup? Because you have to really weigh it. Not everything comes with a backup and a perfect formulated plan. Not everything comes in life like that.
Yeah. So having option B is not. I'm just curious. Having option B is not the demotivation to make plan B successful. Not
So
that
let's like
plan A.
my case. So like in my case, I decided to go and live in London on okay. So my option B was if it doesn't work out, I will go back to Malta. I have my flat and I will just go. That was my option B. Yeah, and then can go back to an insurance company again, where I knew I had jobs. So that was my plan B. I didn't craft it and design it, and just I said, okay, let's see if it doesn't work. What I will do is I will come back to Malta. I own an apartment. I will go and back and live in it. If I need be, I know I can find a job back in the industry I was.
Mhm.
And that was my plan B.
That was your plan B.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
That's it. I mean, I didn't say, like I didn't like, I will give it 6 months. I didn't have that sort of structure of how. And some people might need that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. But for me, it's like, okay, if this doesn't work, then I can always go back. That was my plan B. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I get you. Sometimes that's that's true, Catherine. But sometimes some people uh, don't have option B. They have, but it's really even worse than
Exactly.
plan A.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, those are the people I admire. I mean, for example, back in Malta, there was a phase, I don't know now because I don't really follow the news, to be honest. I try to avoid following the news, but back in Malta, there was a phase in the past when Malta was a lot of illegal immigrants were coming on the island, and um, they do this. I'm not judging them as illegal, nothing. It's the point is that they leave everything behind in their country because it is so bad, and obviously they live without a plan. They just leave to find a better life, and that there is no plan B, because if they come and they take you back, that is not a plan B. They repatriate you. So I mean, that I really admire those people, and I really feel for them because they have no other option in life. But most of us, like me and you, we have options. We are not in that state.
Of course, of course.
And we need to focus, like, most of the times there are options. And if there's not, then what is best for me? Stay in this uncomfortable situation, or maybe it's not that uncomfortable, so I can stay where I am. Okay. But if it's so uncomfortable, I think you will do it with or without plan B. If it is so, it's like taking your life away. It is so painful. You just want to do something to improve your life.
Having a plan B is good. Is how to say it? How to say it in English? Then blank page. Then blank one. Blank. How to say it? How to say it? Okay, never mind. Leave it. Leave it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Catherine, so you are a lovely mother right now. I've seen your teenagers' photos, the videos, and everything. I've seen your daughter and daughters. So, how is that life? You enjoy it?
Yes, this is a discussion I had recently. I just love being a mom, and that's my number one priority more than anything else, really. Like, um, uh, like, for me, being a mom is important. Bringing up a child, giving them the best they could, being present for them is important. And yeah, I enjoy it. It's not always easy. It can be hard. That's a fact. No motherhood doesn't come with an instruction book, no matter how much you read. We all go through our own experience that we have to navigate. Yeah, but I feel blessed, and I sometimes I see it like she inspires me, and yeah, like I decided to do mindfulness for children because I had her. Probably if I was not a mom, I wouldn't even have thought that, oh, this is really a great idea to teach mindfulness to children or give them life skills, from a young age. But then, because I had her, and I understood my life experience that if I had certain skills as a child, I wouldn't have suffered as much as I did with the eating disorder, for example. Was like, yes, I will follow this path. So it became being a mom guided me also on my own path, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Um,
I
uh,
know, of course.
yeah.
You guide your children what the experience you had in your childhood.
Yeah, like I see, like, my biggest thing in childhood, I felt I am not good enough, I am not seen. That is, I think, the overarching theme. Um, uh, so, and that doesn't give you a good self-esteem in yeah, and confidence in yourself. So, I think one of the things that we need to teach our children is to value themselves and feeling I am good enough, to have this compassion for themselves, no matter what, from a very young age. And to have to understand their own emotions, to be aware of how they feel and why they're feeling this way. It's a gift for them.
Of course. So what is the big as your as your point of view? What is the biggest mistake parents are doing nowadays?
Well,
Most mistake.
I don't like to use the word mistake because we are all, it's just like life is so complex and we have so many things that we carry as parents and we have to manage so many things that you can't really call it a mistake. It's just life circumstances. I mean, it's like I don't want to judge anyone because it's really not right. Um, uh, it's just, I think, being present and connect with your children. That is so essential. Offering presence without and listening to them. For example, yesterday evening, just before going to bed, we had a chat and something that was bothering her, and and she talked about it, and I just listen, not like I just trying to help her express how she feels and helping her to feel good about herself. And it's fine she's feeling this way, but not to feel bad about herself. That she's doing something wrong because she wasn't. So I think so important to have this presence and connection that your children feel safe to express themselves. Because one of the things that's happening these days, we are so distracted by social media. Even children at a young age, they have access to devices and social media, whether it's should be or not. Yeah. And it's creating a lot of disconnection, and we are leading so much a busy life that we don't have time to be together and truly listen to each other.
Yeah. Of course. And one last thing, we are going to end the. Okay, we talk so much, Catherine, but I never feel like we talk so much. I'm so sorry for not give attention to the time.
I
Um,
know that's being really present. Not giving attention to time is really being present.
of course. So, Catherine, so I have three questions that in the end of your podcast. So, the first one is why in these days many children are getting stressed, getting anxiety or experience anxiety, that kind of thing. Would you?
Oh, there's so much. I mean, it's an overwhelm. I think children are overwhelmed with all that is available to them. They have so many distractions from online stuff, like, some of them have access to social media, devices, iPad, and too many activities. There is a lot for them, and then parents are not present for them without being judgmental, because this is the reality. And I know that as they grow older, this affects them, having parents who are working full on because they have to. I mean, because life, they have no other choice. The children are left on their own, and they might be there, the parents, but not really there, because then they're so tired for them and they just have to do what needs to be done rather than being present. it's becoming, I think it's a major issue. And then there is, of course, bullying, and then there is the online bullying, and as they grow older, tweens to teenagers, these expectations, this like we are run by a world of influencers, the perfect life out there, and they want the perfect life. And what is a perfect life? And children are growing up so fast. So, and that the fastness brings anxiety.
Hmm. Because when I ask from some kids, when I ask from some teenage, I'm dealing with some teenagers in these days. So when I'm asking from them, what you really expect from your life, they said, I don't know, and what you really want. I need only money.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, of course, money is important to be comfortable. We need that. But it's not the main aim of your life.
Hmm. Yeah, the stress of
Money is
the
there to serve
of
your higher purpose, not to be the main on top of everything. But children are being fed the wrong information. I encourage everyone who wants to become a parent to become self aware, to become more understanding of themselves, and to really have a clear picture of what is important in their life. Because if for you, I think the top thing is money, then you really have to think whether you want children or not. Because children need your presence. They need your money, of course. I'm not going to say they don't need your money because you have to feed them, schooling, and all that. But there's a limit to how much they need the money because they need presence. And if money is more important than presence, then it's better not to have children. So get your priorities. What are your priorities? And then, build your life around your priorities. It's self-awareness is really important as a parent, I believe.
course, proud of yourself, what you really want to realize.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So I have seen your daughters are doing some projects. Let's talk about that. I'd love to hear about that.
Well, I mean, she's been involved in a book. I have it next to me. She's written a book with a wonderful woman from Sweden, Kiki Palin. She's a book author, and they wrote a book together. Welcome to Rainbow Sweden.
Can you please a little bit? Ah, yeah. Okay. That. Yeah.
A
Can
place
you
where
please?
dreams come true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was 6 years old. So this was her like first book project. We have another book project going on. I'm not going to say with Kiki, and it's mainly me and Kiki. But Sophia has a little, probably she might have a little assignment on this project. And for Christmas, last Christmas, I mean, she's a creative person. There was a market for kids, children selling this stuff, and she came up with the idea of doing spa beauty products. So we made spa beauty products, body mask, and with it lip balms, and with it lip scrub, and natural fragrance oils, and she branded them Kawaii Life. And she went to sell them. So we still have a lot of stuff left, but that was yeah, I cannot.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. And she
yeah.
makes these things by herself.
No, I helped her a lot. I mean, I had to help her a lot, but it was her idea. She decided, like, okay, I want to put this oil, like lemon scrub, body scrub. We put lemon essential oil and something's peppermint lip balm with peppermint oil. And, we found the recipes together. We did them together. Um, Her father did the stickers. So she designed the logo. So it was a joint effort, but all her sort of mind, right? It's all from her mind, her creative mind. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I wish you all the best, you and your daughter, to make this project successful. It's really
Yes, and we have some other projects. Yes, I just need to find the time to work on them because obviously she needs a lot of my support. She's only 10. So we have another project as well, just me and her, like it's writing illustration. So there are things that will happen in the future. They will unfold. And I love this creativity. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I love this creativity. It's something I want to explore myself even more.
Hmm. So do you believe your childhood shaped you who you are today?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Do you believe your childhood shaped you who you are today?
Oh, definitely, definitely. But it's also it shaped who I am today through the choices I made as well. And of course, I feel blessed that I've been guided in the right direction as well, and I was open to take that direction, right? And make the right choices for me. And I'm work in progress, definitely.
Okay, so this is my last question, Catherine. So when you look back today, what did young Catherine need most, the most?
To be seen, I would say, to be seen and to feel, be felt, to feel that she was appreciated and valued, that she was good enough.
Hmm, too busy. Give your attention to your loved ones. It will a lot. It will means a lot to them. That's the
Yes.
yes. That's the main summary I have took from your discussion, because the attraction, the attention, and the we notice is most important things as a human. It's not only for child. It's not only for someone who uh, old or someone is young. As a human, as an animal,
Yeah.
we all
Yeah.
need attention.
Yeah.
We
Yeah. Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to be noticed. Yeah, Catherine, thank you so much. Being
Thank you.
this moment, thank you so much. I appreciate a lot. It means a lot. And I got some good partner to talk about myself as well. Again, that's why I did not is my time. I took your time so much. Um,
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been really nice, and I'm really happy that we had this conversation.
what you have to say end of this conversation? Do you have anything to say to the world at the moment when considering the current situation in the world?
Well, I believe that we need to see each other more. I think if we all see each other and understand each other more, the world will be a much peaceful place. And it starts for each and every one of us. Let's see each other more. Let's talk to each other more. Let's understand each other more. Let's make time for each other. I think this is humanity.
Yeah, of course. What a beautiful, beautiful advice. This was Catherine Galea. I am Zayn Silver. This is the Untold CEO. Everyone.